Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. I'm Yosef Silver alongside Avery Stepner. Now, Avery, it's been over a month since we've seen Max basketball here at the Max Stern Athletic Center. How the Max been doing in the last month?
Thank you, partner. It's great to be back here at the Max Stern Athletic Center. The Max have had their ups and downs, right? They ended up December. They had a couple of really tough ranked matchups against Trinity and NYU where they came up short. But recently, a few days ago, they got their first conference win against Purchase in a tough win by 15 points. On the other side, University of St. Joseph of Connecticut also coming up a tough game against that same Trinity team as both these teams look to build some momentum going forward for their season.
So in order to capture the victory tonight, each of these teams is going to need their star players to come out and perform. Who are the players that we're looking for tonight?
Yeah, so on the St. Joe side, it's going to be Adel Cease, right? The big guy, absolute beast in the paint, blocks a ton of shots, grabs a ton of rebounds. He's going to throw a wrench in Yeshiva's plans tonight, wherever it may be. On the Yeshiva side, look for a new player, Pancer, new addition to the team. Brings a lot of energy. Coach Steinmetz likes him a lot. He can distribute, and he's going to be really fun to watch today and the rest of his career.
So Avery, USJ is no joke. They're a real team. The Max going to have to execute well in order to come out with the victory tonight. What's the game plan to beat the Blue Jays?
Yeah, so I think it's going to come down to slowing this game down. The Blue Jays are a very fast-paced team. They beat you by playing on fast break and forcing turnovers. The Max are going to have to slow this game down, work for good shots, try to get their stars above, Zevi, Max Sackheim, and if they can do that, they'll be just fine.
All right, well, we're all set for Max basketball. We've had to wait a month, but now the day is here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with tip-off, anthems, and more.
The best source of news today is JBS. And viewers should understand that this has become the public square of the American Jewish community. This is where they can get 24/7 information, understanding, analysis, sympathetically, honestly, accurately. JBS should become the address of choice.
Well, the Yeshiva basketball team is doing very, very well now, and JBS is broadcasting the game. My take on that is the fact that the Yeshiva team is doing well. It's so great that JBS is doing this. Sadly, Mark, who did the first time we broadcasted a game, when they first made the tournament, he was the MC. He was the anchor man from JBS. So, so much of what Mark wanted to do, we're going to try to do as best we can with our limited abilities to fulfill, so many of his dreams.
Max Live, Yeshiva University men's basketball on JBS, is made possible in part by Janet and Lior Hod and family, with immense gratitude to Hashem. Max Live, Yeshiva University men's basketball on JBS, is made possible in part by Janet and Lior Hod and family, with immense gratitude to Hashem.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask everyone to please rise for playing on both U.S. and Israeli national anthems.
Athletic Center. Some prayers and the anthems. We would like to give a huge thanks to JBS, the Jewish Broadcasting Service, for helping bring Yeshiva University basketball to a national television audience once again this season, with many thanks for the kind support from the Hode family and gratitude to Hashem. JBS's mission to celebrate Jewish life and culture aligns perfectly with showcasing the dedication and skill of these amazing Jewish athletes. We're thrilled to be broadcasting with JBS and sharing the Max journey with the JBS audience. Now let's get into tonight's starting lineups. Starting lineups are sponsored by Yeshiva University Office of Admissions. As you start your college journey, make sure you visit us online to check out all the great virtual events and opportunities we have for YU students and how you too can become a Maccabee. And for the St. Joseph Blue Jays, starting at guard, number 32, Jakari Tertullian. Starting at forward, number 23, Adelph Cisse. Starting at guard, number 11, Lance Altenor. Starting at forward, number 15, Friedrich Feldrop. And starting at forward, number 24, Kevin Cummings. And now for the Maccabees. Starting at guard, the 6-foot senior from Bergenfield, New Jersey, number 23, Max Zackheim. Starting at guard, the 6'2 senior from Muncie, New York, number 12, Zevi Samet. Starting at forward, the 6'5 junior from Fairlawn, New Jersey, number 15, Orson Jevsky. Starting at forward, the 6'6 junior from Ain Farid, Israel, number 22, Dotan Bardachev. And starting at forward, the 6'8 sophomore from Great Neck, New York, number 21, Luke Cronin. And the Macs are coached by head coach Elliot Steinmetz, while the Blue Jays are coached by head coach Glenn Miller. Now, Avery, we had a couple players that we mentioned at the top, but who else are we looking out for among these rosters?
Yeah, so on Yeshiva, I think it's going to be important to look at the health of Max Zackheim and Dotan Bardachev. They're both banged up a little bit in their pass game against Purchase. They're still playing tonight and expect to be playing at 100%. But if they, maybe are a little slow, if they're not 100%, who's going to step in, right? Who's going to be, how's the depth going to be tested on Yeshiva? On the other side, we talked about Delph Cease. He is an absolute beast in the paint, and Yeshiva's going to have a tough time hanging with him. Another guy to look at is Tamim Dupree. He's guard, 6'3". He was a transfer, really good player, really good scorer. The St. Joe's team likes to go fast. They like to push the pace. It's a group effort. Nobody averages like more than 20 on their team. So it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Definitely. This is a real opponent. The Macs have played them actually 6 times, I believe, in the last 4 years. This tradition almost started during the COVID season. We played them twice, and then we played them every year since. And talking to, as Samet wins the tip, and that's an early layup, Zevi Samet. Good job by the Macs to get on board.
Yeah, that's going to be important, getting Zevi Samet going early on. He's had a little bit of a slump the past few games, but we know how good he is. So getting him going is going to be important.
And that's Cease inside, but great defense by Luke Cronin. Zackheim, now Dotan Bardachev. Zevi Samet. Cronin top of the key. Dotan pulls up for 3. That's no good from Bardachev. And Lance Altenor is just going to let it go out of bounds.
And Yosef, speaking of Lance Altenor, nobody on the Mac side is going to forget what he did to us last year, hitting a game-winning shot with 3 seconds left in the game. A stud of a player, a leader on this St. Joe's team. And Yeshiva's definitely going to be keyed in on him as they know what he can do in big spots.
And now it's Shikari Tertullian. Fell drop. Back to Tertullian. And that's Altenor for 3. Bullseye from Altenor. 3-2 Blue Jays.
Looks like Yeshiva is starting off in a 3-2 zone. Not something we see often from them, but against a St. Joe's team that has forwards at all levels, could be a smart play. We'll see how it pans out.
As that pass is too far from Samet, tipped by Cronin. Max gets it back. Zackheim driving to the basket, puts it up. No good, rebound Cisse. Tertullian, now to Altenor. Fell drop in the corner. And now it's Tertullian. Cisse top of the key. Back to Altenor. Max has done a great job really getting in the face of these St. Blue Jays players. 7 on the shot clock. Altenor for 3. Rebound Luke Cronin.
An elite defensive possession by the Macs. Coming off of a couple of rough games, we talked about how they come out today. Are they going to be dejected? Or are they going to come out with more energy to try to get back in the win column? Great possession defensively to start off, and it looks like early subs coming in. Roy Ikovic is coming in for Dotan Bardachev. We talked about how he's a little banged up. Roy's the next guy up, and they're going to need a big physical game out of him against a bigger St. Joseph's team.
As now it's Samet. Cronin. Cisse on him. Now Roy Ikovic working on Cummings. Ikovic gives it to Orr. Freshly haircut Orr. Puts it up, blocked by Cisse. Orr gets it back. Roy for 3. Nylon! Roy Ikovic coming into the game, making an immediate impact. And Sanjevsky picks up the assist. And now it's inside foul drop. Cummings in the corner for 3. Can't answer. Good effort by Tertullian, but Cronin comes down with it. Zackheim. Now Ikovic. Zevi Samet. Zevi Samet taking it inside. Gives it back out. Now it's Sinjevsky baseline. Finds a wide open Zakheim, who couldn't corral the pass. That's going to be Blue Jays basketball.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this Blue Jays defense, they play a very sound man-to-man defense. They do not get beat on backdoor cuts. They don't get beat off the dribble very often. Even when they do, they're so lanky and athletic, and they're able to make up for that. So it's going to be interesting to see how Yeshiva is able to counteract as their offense is more motion-based and wanting to get those backdoor cuts.
Altenor again for 3. That's no good again from Altenor.
So a couple good possessions by the Max defensively, and they're going to have to continue to be physical, limit those easy shots that St. Joseph's usually gets.
As Sinjevsky loses the handle on it, and it's going to be Blue Jays basketball.
One thing you're seeing is we talked about St. Joseph's pace, how they like to play fast and sort of play some chaos because they're very good at controlled chaos environment. And Yeshiva is starting to get roped into that a little bit. You see a couple early turnovers, maybe trying to go too fast and match that speed. If Yeshiva just slows it down, they can have a lot more success playing their game.
As now it's Tertullian. Fell drop gives it inside for Cisse. Cisse, nice athletic play. As it ties the game 5-5, 16 and a half left to go in the first half. As it's Samet, Tertullian up on him. And now it's Sinjevsky in the corner. Cronin inside, trying to work on Cisse. Goes up. No good, rebound Tertullian. Blue Jays push the other way. Altenor in the corner for Cummings. Cummings. Pass is tipped by Sinjevsky. Sinjevsky taking it down. And that's going to be a foul on the side. I believe they're going to call that on number 15, Friedrich Feldrop.
So talking to Coach Steinmetz before the game, he talked a lot about Orson Jeffrey and how complete of an offensive player he is. And if they can just get a little more consistency out of him and, limit some of those, I guess you could say bad shots, unadvisable shots, he can be a really good player for them on both ends of the floor. So he's going to be a big X factor, not just in this game, but as the season rolls on.
Zakheim with it. Altenor on him, now gives it to Cronin. Cronin back to Zakheim. Rojakovic taking inside, kicks it to Orr for 3. No good from Orr. Feldrop with the rebound, they look to push. It's Cummings. Zakheim steps up on him, good transition defense by Max. Feldrop picks it over. Now it's Cisse inside, and Cisse hits the shot.
Now, when you play a well-coached team like St. Joseph's, a zone might work at the beginning. We can throw in a couple of wrinkles here and there, but as the game progresses, well-coached teams are usually able to beat a zone, as we saw there. So if that continues, maybe we see Yeshiva turn back to their man.
And now it's Zakheim. Salmon inside, and that's blocked by Feldrop. And Feldrop was out of bounds when he tipped it to Dupree. And it's going to be Max basketball. Also recently checked into the game, Tameen Dupree for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, we talked about him before the game. Another guard scorer, a little shifty, tough to guard. Let's see if he can provide an offensive spark for St. Joseph's.
And Salmon in the corner for 3. That's no good from Salmon. Altenor taking it down. And now it's Dupree. Altenor, Dupree. Now Cummings. Cross court to Altenor. Back to Dupree. Dupree works inside. Tries to give it to Cisse. Able to get it. No good. Rebound Luke Cronin. Max looks to push the other way. Now it's Zakheim. Zakheim pulls up. Takes the screen from Cronin. Gives it over to Sinjevsky. Sinjevsky inside. Slipped. Salmon able to recover. Salmon now working on Feldrop. Pulls up. No good. Rebound Luke Cronin. Luke Cronin puts it back in. Tie game.
Yeah, it's a big rebound by Luke Cronin. Definitely battling down there with Cease. Not an easy player to play against, but if Cronin can steal some buckets that way, play some good solid defense, could help neutralize such a great player.
And now it's Dupree. Altenor. Dupree working inside. Altenor. Now Cummings. Cummings for 3. No good from Cummings. Rebound Salmon.
Now, one thing you're seeing from Salmon hasn't gotten going yet, but those are some good shots. Easy 2-point plays. Don't just force threes. We know how good of a shooter he is. But if he can work, see a couple layups going early, that can do wonders for him the rest of the game.
As there was a nice find by Sanjevsky to Roy, but Roy couldn't finish. Now it's Cummings taking it the other way. Dupree working inside, loses handle of it. And I believe, and no, they're going to call a foul on Sanjevsky as he was going for the ball.
Now, Yosef, you feel like this game's a little fast-paced, a little out of control. You wonder what Yeshiva can do to slow this game down. If they're going to continue to get baited into these fast break opportunities, trying to push it. We'll see if we can slow this game down a little bit and maybe limit turnovers.
And it's Altenor now. Dupree. Altenor working on Zakheim. Zakheim, good defense on him. Tries to go up, goes cross court to Cummings. Cummings for three. That's no good from Cummings. But Cisse gets the ball. And Dotan Bardachef fighting for the rebound. Is able to pull it for the Max. As Levy in the game. And that was a nice layup by Jonathan Levy. Tertullian. And he throws it away. Max basketball.
So the zone working so far for the Max. We'll see what St. Joseph's Coach Miller does to counteract that. One thing about Coach Miller, which we've talked about, is just crazy to me. He has never lost a conference game. 3 years already for coaching St. Joseph, never lost a conference game. He's 51-0. It doesn't matter what conference you play in. That's just an insane feat, and it speaks to how good of a coach he is.
100%. We've seen even with the Max, even when they were in their prime, you always, as that's an offensive foul by Jonathan Levy, but we see even with the Max, when they have their dominant runs in the Ryan Terrell Gabe Lightford days, you always wind up dropping a conference game or two. You're very familiar with the opponent. You know, very often if you don't show up with your best, they're game planning against you. They know you very well. The fact that in over 3 years of being the coach for St. Joseph, they haven't lost a single conference game is just wildly impressive, and is a tribute to how good of a coach Coach Miller really is.
Yeah, and you could have talented teams, but if your team lacks discipline and structure sometimes, yeah, you drop games to teams that you should beat, but they just don't do that.
As that's a nice layup by Tamim Dupree, and Coach Steinmetz is going to call a timeout. That's a 30-second timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
Bombed right now. Oh. And welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. As with about just over 12 minutes to go, we have a tie game, 9-9. And Avery, what have we seen so far from these teams?
We see a really interesting zone from Yeshiva that we really haven't seen yet so far this season. 3-2, and it's causing a lot of chaos for this St. Joseph's team as there's a backdoor cut. It doesn't go their way, but this 3-2 zone is really working, and we'll see what Coach Miller does to adjust to it and try to get his team some easy shots.
As now it's Zakheim. Dotan. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Dotan puts it up. Zakheim rebound. Roy for three. Trains the three. Roy Ikovich, and he was excited after that too.
Yeah, and I went to the gym last night, to shoot around and have some fun, and I saw Roy there, and he's always in the gym getting shots up and coming to fruition there.
As that was a three, no good by Altenor. I believe that was his 4th three of the game. So they were really looking to get him going. As now it's Zakheim with it for the Max. Looks to slow it down. Bardachef top of the key. Gives it inside for Sanjevsky on the smaller Dupree. Kicks it outside for Levy. Levy thought about pulling up. Zakheim pulls up. Zakheim with a three. So 2 back-to-back threes for the Max.
Yeah, it's a big-time shot right there. And a great play by Jonathan Levy. He's a freshman, but he plays like a veteran. Smart play to not pick up his dribble and look for an easy shot on the outside.
As that was Dotan Bardashev, a little too aggressive. Defensively, he's going to get called for the foul. And going back on Jonathan Levy, we were speaking about it, talking about him with Coach Steinmetz, and just the way that he's progressed. Coach Steinmetz is extremely impressed. He's a guy who, puts his head down, always gives you 100%. And Coach Steinmetz is telling us, when you put in 100%, you can't have a bad game.
Yeah, and he talked about his talent, right? And you maybe don't see that because you're playing on the court with Zevi, Samit, and Max Hakon. But Jonathan Levy has a ton of talent. What he's doing, sacrificing maybe being a star player for being a very strong role player who's physical, and that provides a lot of value for the team, and it's always going to get him playing time. So Jonathan Levy has been a great revelation so far this season as a young player.
And now it's foul drop inside, working on Cronin, and that's blocked by Luke Cronin. Great defense by the Max. Now it's Zakheim. He gets slowed down. Ikovic throws it inside. Great pass by Roy Ikovic over Friedrich Feldrop and Luke Cronin for 2.
Yeah, a terrific sequence of events right there for Luke Cronin. Another X factor in this game, because we talked a lot about the size of the Blue Jays and how big they are. And if Cronin can impact the game both offensively and defensively like that, it's going to come a long way for the Yeshiva team.
And that's Cummings in the corner. No good from Cummings. Rebound Cronin. Zakheim with it. Zakheim drives the lane. And that's no good. He'll get called. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, partner, you see on the St. Joseph's offense, they're getting a lot of open shots. They're getting open threes, and they're a really good team. They're a really good shooting team. They shoot 40% from 3 on the season. And oftentimes you see when a team goes on the road, they maybe struggle making shots early on as they get adjusted to the gym. So I think if you're Yeshiva, you still can't get too comfortable with these open looks that you're getting, because eventually they will go in and they will come back. And if you can't defend those threes, you might not win this game.
And now we're going to ask our Max Live trivia question. The last time the Max hosted St. Joseph, they defeated the Blue Jays by a score of 87-76. Who was the leading scorer for the Max? Tweet your answer with hashtag MaxLiveTrivia. And Zakheim drains the second. Now it's 18-9, Yeshiva. And now we're going to see Max take a seat.
Yeah, and Lance Altenor and Kevin Cummings are both really good shooters, and they're combined right now 1 for 7 from 3. That's fine for me if I'm Coach Miller. They're both guys who are going to make their shots eventually, and those are the guys you want the ball in their hands.
And Tyshawn Jackson driving the lane. Strong drive by Jackson, no good. Foul drop turnaround, no good. Levy thought he had the rebound, and that's going to be off St. Joseph Yeshiva basketball.
Another physical play by Cronin. Getting boards early on, and especially with Dotan not being 100%, and maybe a lack of size on this Yeshiva team, that's, again, a key factor to this team that struggled with rebounding over the past few games.
And now Freundlich, Sanjevsky with it. Salmon for 3. And they're going to say it hit the rope on top of the hoop. It's going to be out of bounds. St. Joe's basketball.
Yeah, and you wonder what you can do if you're Coach Steinmetz to help maybe get Zevi his confidence back, scheme him open, get him easier shots, because it's not working right now, but we know how good he is. And if you can get going, Yeshiva's almost unstoppable, so we'll see what Yeshiva does to adjust to that.
And that's Tertullian in the corner for 3. No good again from 3, and they're going to get Malcolm Ely for the off-ball foul. And we were talking to assistant coach Ellie Katz earlier in the season, and we mentioned sometimes when Zevi, he can be a little bit off the mark. What you do about that? And he's basically said a guy like Zevi, you just got to let him shoot out of it. He's a talented player; he'll figure it out. So, going through the game, Zevi may be on a little bit of a shooting slump lately, but definitely doesn't change the game plan for the Max. That's a nice pass by Sanjevsky. Cronin. Try the reverse, no good. And now it's Cummings.
Yeah, and you got to route their best players. I mean, Zevi Samit's one of the best scorers in Division III. We saw that last year. There's an open shot right there. that goes in for Lance Altenor. He's a great shooter. But Zevi Salmon, one of the best scorers in Division III. And, you live and die by your guys. Right? You don't tell LeBron James to stop shooting, Steph Curry. You let them play out of that. And that's the status that Zevi Salmon has earned here for the Max this past few years.
Sanjevsky head down. That's going to be out of bounds. St. Joe's basketball. And now Yoav Selka checking into the game for the Max. Luke Cronin going to take a seat.
And again, Zevi Salmon, he's a ceiling player. Right? You have a lot of role players. You have guys who maybe good defenders, good passers, good rebounders. Zevi Salmon is just a hooper, man. He scores an insane amount of points efficiently when he's on. And if you want to win championships and you want to go far in the tournament, he's a guy that you need to get going. So the unlimited confidence they have with him is justified.
As Feldrop had the layup. 18-14. St. Joe's on a 5-0 run. As now it's Samet. And Samet, Oselka, back to Zevi. Sanjevsky pulls up for three. No good. Tyshawn Jackson, head of steam, taking it down. Gives it over to Cummings. Cummings at the wing. Again, no good from Cummings. So Cummings still yet to make one. A great effort by Effie Freundlich. Effie Freundlich going in with the dunk. Effie Freundlich slams it home, 20-14 Max.
Yeah, and you won't find a more entertaining player in this gym today. Just a guy who creates highlights. Absolutely exhilarating to watch. That was fun.
As that was Altenor, no good again from three. As Samet drives down, and they're going to call that foul on the side. And they're going to call that on number 1, Tyshawn Jackson. That's going to be St. Joseph's 5th foul. As we see Max Zackheim check back into the game. Jonathan Levy going to take a seat.
Yeah, and you saw when Effie was going on the break right there, the entire stadium just stood up. They were all super excited to see what was in store, and he did not disappoint.
Samet. Now Sanjevsky. Sanjevsky moving inside. That's a nice move. And they're going to call a travel for the double hap on Sanjevsky.
Yeah, it was a good take by Orbit. Better defense. It's the right idea, though. I think that's what you want if you're Coach Steinmetz. Better than maybe shooting a deep contested three. Or's a big guy. Try to take your man on and see what happens. But, so far, you got to feel good if you're Coach Miller and St. Joe's. Not shooting well at all, but you're still only down 6 against a really good Yeshiva team.
As that's stolen by Samet. Samet in the fast break. Couldn't get the layup. And Effie Freundlich is going to be fouled on the putback. I think Zevi may have thought he got fouled on the first one. But either way, the Max are going to go to the line for 2.
And again, you talk about good coaches. One thing that good coach teams don't lack is effort. I mean, a guy like Zevi Salmon gets a steal, fast break. Sometimes players forget about it. Let him get his layup. You don't want to foul him or he can make a mistake. Right there, you saw St. Joe's players no, not on my watch. We're going to go down. We're going to try to block him. We're going to put every ounce of effort we have into this game. And that's why programs like Yeshiva and St. Joe's, no matter who they have, are always successful and always putting together good solid teams.
As now we're going to get number 20, Amadou Kamara, checking into the game for St. Joseph. Freundlich on the second. Hits the second. So now 22-14. About 6:19 to go. Just something to note. The Blue Jays are already at 6 fouls, so next foul for the Blue Jays will send the Max to the line. Cummings for 3. No good again from Cummings. Cummings already 0 for 5 from the 3-point line.
But again, another good shot there by Cummings. He's going to come in eventually. He's a really good player.
As that was a good find, Yoav Selka for a cutting Effie Freundlich. Max take a double-digit lead as Coach Miller's going to call timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. As Max up by 10, St. Joe's with the ball. Altenor in the corner to Cummings, excuse me. Now it's Dupree. Pass is picked off Oselka. Max going the other way. Samet 1-2 up, no good. And Zevi Samet, I believe, is the one who's going to go to the line. Actually, excuse me, it's Yoav Oselka who's going to head to the line for the Max. And that's going to be Friedrich Feldrop's second foul of the day.
But again, not a foul you're really upset about if you're Coach Miller. We just talked about it, right? It was basically the same play on replay. Zevi gets a steal. Effort for the chase down block. Effort on Yeshiva to get the follow-up by Oselka. So, again, I hate to, be a broken record, but the effort of these teams is showing, and that's why they're both really good programs.
And now Adelphi Cisse checking back into the game as he pulls the board. 1 of 2 for Yoav Oselka. And now it's Tertullian for the Blue Jays. Gives it over to Kamara. Back to Tertullian. Kamara in the corner, takes it inside, pulls up, blocked by Effie Freundlich. So we saw the dunk on the offensive end, now he got an athletic block on the defensive end from Effie Freundlich.
That's what he does. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the length. If you could put it all together along with his talent, the sky's really the limit for a player like that.
As Altenor tried to split the defense, and I believe that's Max Zackheim going to get called for the foul. Didn't like it.
Now, I think if you're St. Joe's, which I wonder what Coach Miller is going to do about it, you want to try to get the ball in the middle against the zone, right? If you're playing against a man, you try to maybe go ISO, keep it on the perimeter. If you're playing against a zone, you want to get it to the high post, and when you get it there, the defense just collapses on you, and you'll either have open shooters or an open layup. So we'll see if they can get the ball to the high post.
As that's Tertullian inside, and just like you were saying, able to finish.
Yeah, the key really against the zone is you want to get them out of place, right? Because, when they're in their structure, they're always going to be able to contest your threes, and it's just not effective. But if you can get them out of place and get them moving, get them scrambling, that's when you get your open shots for Altenor and Cummings.
Zackheim head of steam inside. Gets the floater to go. Back up to 11. Yeshiva lead. Cummings. Now Kamara, cross court. Back cross court. Good deflection, Yoav Oselka. And now Luke Cronin going to head back into the game for the Max. Yoav Oselka to take a seat.
Yeah, and Yoav's been really impressive today. His hands are everywhere. Defensively, rebounding. When you have a guy of his size impacting a game like that, affecting passing lanes, it's really, really important for a team like Yeshiva.
As Cummings finally gets his first 3, now 1 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Now, Yosef, I know I played with you in the past. You're a really good shooter yourself. As a shooter, when you get going, when you hit your first shot, it's a domino effect. You continue to make shots. You continue, you start to feel yourself. So I would watch out for Cummings if I'm Yeshiva right now. He's going to get going soon.
And Cummings definitely not a guy Yeshiva wants to have start to get in the rhythm. As that's an errant pass by the Blue Jays. It's going to be Yeshiva basketball.
Yeah, and Cummings is a 43% shooter from 3, which is just ridiculous. I mean, that's like Steph Curry numbers or Yosef Silver numbers. Don't laugh. You're a good shooter. But, again, just an incredible player. And if you can get going, it's going to be a long rest of the game for the Max.
As Roy tried to get the athletic play over Kamara, no good. Tertullian the other way. Cummings. Max all over him. Tertullian. Now Altenor. Back to Tertullian. Back getting into structure. As Cummings. And that's going to be a travel on Kevin Cummings. And another turnover for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, partner, one thing I'm seeing about this Max defense that maybe St. Joe's can exploit is, as the play develops, they start to drift up a little bit to try to watch shooters. If St. Joe's can get those backdoor cuts, maybe throw it out to one of their bigs down low behind the defense, maybe that can get them some easy buckets.
And now it's Zackheim moving inside. Cronin. Zackheim working on Tertullian, kicks it out to Samet. Samet moving inside, 3 seconds on the shot clock, puts it up. No good, rebound Cisse. And Cisse just seems to be everywhere within 5 feet of the basket. Kamara now in the corner. Roy working on him. Cisse with it, and Cronin going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, and Cronin got a little grabby there, trying to, understandably so, keep the ball out of Cease's hands. And like you said, also Cease making an impact on the defensive side of the floor. Again, just an awesome player. It's really fun to watch.
Now, interesting about Cease, he's actually from Congo. He went to prep school in America, and then St. Joe's was able to recruit him from there. So the international really came to play, as that's Kamara for three. No good. Rebound Cisse, right on cue. Cummings for three. No good from Cummings. And Tertullian going to get called for the foul. And it's going to be Max basketball yet again.
Yeah, and when we talked with Coach Miller in our pre-production meeting, he was just raving about Cisse. Just again, awesome player, awesome kid. Coaches love him. The broadcasters love him. The players love him. Just a great guy, and really just has made an impact so far this day at St. Joe's.
Something interesting about Adelph Cisse, being from the Congo. Coach Miller mentioned in our pregame meeting with him that Adelphi actually speaks 5 languages. So, sometimes the Max will communicate in Hebrew. Wonder if Cisse can maybe pick it up.
Yeah, I could barely do one language on Duolingo. Trying to get my Spanish levels up. Don't ask me to talk in Spanish.
Cummings for three, yet again no good. That's short from Cummings. Now 1 of 8 from beyond the arc as it's Samet. Jonathan Levy. Levy wide open three. Drills it. Not necessarily known for the three ball, but he'll make you pay if you leave him wide open.
Absolutely. He's got all the talent in the world. And as a role player, when you can hit shots consistently, if he can get going, it just makes it so hard to guard.
Kamara tries to respond and hits it. So nice response from the Blue Jays. As we're just under a minute and a half to go. Make sure to stay tuned for the Like It Israel halftime show.
Yeah, Amadou Kamara, a guy that Coach Miller recruited, sought after, had a connection with. There's a good backdoor cut by Zevi Samet. But Kamara made a nice shot there in the corner, and a guy that Coach Miller really likes.
And going back to that play, it's a great find by Luke Cronin, something that the Max really like to highlight, is that's a jumper from Kamara, no good. The Max really like to highlight good passers, right? A lot of their guys, you may not think of them that way, but Orszagowski, great passer. Luke Cronin able to find people as Zakheim with the layup gets it to go. And something Coach Steinmetz in his motion offense really highlights are making sure that the guys are able to have the eyes to make the great passes. And that's how you get highlight plays like that.
Yeah, but you got a guy like the Red Rocket, you got fun buckets like that, just absolutely exploded to the basket.
Altenor for three. Altenor hits the three. So ending a little bit of a three-point drought for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, now Altenor is shooting 3 for 7 from 3. You talked about, if he gets the shots go, he'll hit them eventually once he gets used to the hoops, and we're seeing that on display in the end of this first half.
And Jonathan Levy going to get called for the offensive foul. Not necessarily the smartest foul to take, as there was less than a second separating shot and game clock. Max looked to be holding for the final shot. Yeah,
and you'll see this is a big possession right here defensively for the Max. Can you keep the momentum going to the half? If St. Joe's hits a shot here, buzzer beater, they'll have the momentum, and it'll come a long way in the second half.
And now 11 seconds to go. Just checked into the game for the Max. Number 44, Yoel Kinsler. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Meanwhile, Altenor for three. No good. Freundlich. Try to chuck it up. That's after the basket. Can't get it to go. So at the half, 34-25. Yeshiva leads St. Joseph. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Like It Israel halftime show.
Stay tuned to JBS for our prime time original series. In the Spotlight with Abigail Pogrebin, Mondays at 8 p.m. Fighting Anti-Semitism, the ISGAP Hour, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Jewish Insights with JBS CEO Justin Pines, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern, Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Defending Israel with David Harris. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Tune in for outstanding original programming weeknights on JBS.
So I know you played in, obviously, Valley Torah. Your father, Brad, is here, and your family's here as well. Quoted in Gary Belsky's article, in the ESPN.com article, when your dad said, well, why are you going to Yeshiva University, an Orthodox Jewish institution? And you asked your dad, well, why did you send me to a Jewish day school, Valley Torah? Explain why you decided to take that jump to Division III to play at a Jewish institution and how that transformed the Jewish community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When it came down to my decision, it came down to, can I be a religious Jew? Is going D1, good enough for me to worth me sacrificing my religion, right? And stopping my faith because I want to I played Division I basketball. And when it came down to it, it just wasn't. And, I've seen people in the past that made that decision, because of the clout of Division I basketball. And I wanted to be able to set the pathway for, the Jewish kids and any kid, watching, that it doesn't matter where you come from, you could succeed, and just stay true to who you are and stay true to what you believe, and you'll make it.
One of the aspects of being president of Yeshiva University is that I get to attend many basketball games. We have a very popular basketball team. Do people know that? Very popular basketball team.
Well, the Yeshiva basketball team is doing very, very well now, and JBS is broadcasting the game. My take on that is the fact that the Yeshiva team is doing well. The most interesting thing for me, when people forget about how many games they won, is that when they play in the tournament, the first round game, which takes place on Friday, doesn't start at 8 o'clock in the evening. It starts at 12 noon. The NCAA, which is the overriding body that controls sports, has more rules than the Shulchan Aruch, the Code of Jewish Law. But they're accommodating us. It's another barometer of where Jews fit in America. So it's so great that JBS is doing these. Sadly, Mark, who did the first time we broadcasted a game, when they first made the tournament, he was the MC. He was the anchor man from JBS. So, so much of what Mark wanted to do, we're going to try to do as best we can with our limited abilities to fulfill, so many of his dreams. We're living through a difficult time here for American Jews, but the fact of the matter is that in the sports world has been very tolerant to us. The NCAA has more rules than the Code of Jewish Law, the Shulchan Aruch in Hebrew. And yet within the thousands of rules, they say that if a team can't play because of religious reasons, I see the metaphor of sports being very important in understanding the life of Jews in the United States. It's not so much who wins the game, but whether you're allowed to play the game, whether you're part of the group.
JBS, the Jewish Broadcasting Service, with a marvelous array of programming for anyone interested in Jewish life and the State of Israel. News, events, Jewish studies, movies. It's all on JBS, expanding Jewish understanding, celebrating all things Jewish.
So I know you played in, obviously, Valley Torah. Your father, Brad, is here, and your family's here as well. Quoted in Gary Belsky's article, in the ESPN.com article, when your dad said, well, why are you going to Yeshiva University, an Orthodox Jewish institution? And you asked your dad, well, why did you send me to a Jewish day school, Valley Torah? Explain why you decided to take that jump to Division III to play at a Jewish institution and how that transformed the Jewish community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, when it came down to my decision, you know, it came down to, you know, can I be a religious Jew? Is going D1, you know, good enough for me to sacrifice sacrificing my religion, right? And you know, stopping my faith because I want to say I played Division I basketball. And when it came down to it, it just wasn't. And, you know, I've seen people in the past that made that decision, you know, because of the clout of Division I basketball. And I wanted to be able to set the pathway for, you know, the Jewish kids and any kid, you know, watching, that it doesn't matter where you come from, you could succeed, and just stay true to who you are and stay true to what you believe, and you'll make it.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
Welcome to Being Jewish with Jonah Platt, the podcast where we explore and celebrate the full, gorgeous spectrum of Jewish identity. Every week, I'll sit down with notable Jews and non-Jewish allies across professional fields like entertainment, business, sports, politics, food, and more. Together, we'll dig deep into a conversation not likely to be had anywhere else, all surrounding one key question: what does being Jewish mean to you? So please, join me on Being Jewish with Jonah Platt, a judgment-free space of nuance, warmth, and honesty, where we can exalt, examine, and share together in the stories that make us who we are.
You know, one of the aspects of being president of Yeshiva University is that I get to attend many basketball games. We have a very popular basketball team. Do people know that? Very popular basketball team. Like, I thought I was coming to Yeshiva University. It'd be great academics, they're professionals, they're business, they're rabbis, they're educators. But we have an amazing basketball team, the Yeshiva University Maccabees. They won 50 games in a row at one point, and we're ranked number 1 in the country in Division III. Number 1 in the country.
I know you played in, obviously, Valley Torah. Your father, Brad, who's here, and your family's here as well. Quoted in Gary Belsky's article, in the ESPN.com article, when your dad said, well, why are you going to Yeshiva University, an Orthodox Jewish institution? And you asked your dad, well, why did you send me to a Jewish day school, Valley Torah? Explain why you decided to take that jump to Division III to play at a Jewish institution and how that transformed the Jewish community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When it came down to my decision, it came down to, can I be a religious Jew? Is going D1, good enough for me to sacrificing my religion, right? And stopping my faith because I want to say I played Division I basketball. And when it came down to it, it just wasn't. And, I've seen people in the past that made that decision, because of the clout of Division I basketball. And I wanted to be able to set the pathway for, the Jewish kids and any kid, watching, that it doesn't matter where you come from, you could succeed, and just stay true to who you are and stay true to what you believe, and you'll make it. I didn't always think that I had the potential to make the NBA. You have a lot of people throughout your life telling you you can't do it. You're not going to be tall enough. You're not going to be strong enough. You're too slow or whatever. And the way that you respond to those people is you just put in the work. I'm a big believer of what you do when nobody's watching. You put in the work when nobody's there, right? Just keep working, keep grinding, and it doesn't matter where you come from, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, anybody. You can be anybody. As long as you put in the work, you're going to make it.
We're proud to welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center, as at halftime of this contest we have Yeshiva 34, St. Joseph 25. We're proud to partner with JBS, a 24/7 Jewish television channel, reaching over 250,000 homes every month. From cultural programming to current affairs, JBS celebrates and educates about all things Jewish. Thanks to the Hode family for helping bring this Max Live season to television viewers around the country. Now let's get into the Leket Israel halftime show. Halftime stats are brought to you by Leket Israel. Leket Israel, rescuing nutritious surplus food for Israelis in need. Avery, what stats are we looking at?
Yeah, so I'm looking at three-point shooting right now. Yeshiva is shooting 40% exactly from three. St. Joe's shooting 26.3%. Now, I'm no math major, but that is a 13.7-point percentage difference between the two teams. And that's telling the story so far. It's a 9-point game. If guys like Lance Altenor and Kevin Cummings get going, they can hit their shots, they'll come back pretty easily because they're that good. But if Yeshiva could defend three well enough and hit a couple of their own, they'll be able to keep this game within, a solid distance. Another thing I'm looking at is Luke Cronin. He's got 9 rebounds so far. Absolutely manning the fort for Yeshiva. Epi Frolik's got 4 rebounds as well. So he's chipping in, and they struggled with the rebounds over the past few games, especially in the losses against NYU and Trinity. So their rebounding today has been a huge factor as to why they're up, eliminating these second chance points for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, it's been an impressive note of physicality here for the Max, something they're not necessarily known for. And, something else, just going back on your three-point line, your three-point stats.
Yep.
The big one that stands out is Kevin Cummings, 1 of 8 from 3. Now, something to note, he's a 43% shooter on the season, so the Max are playing a little bit of a dangerous game. They're up by 9, which gives you a comfortable lead, but if he starts hitting those, and a lot of them are good looks, he's just not converting. If he starts to get going this second half, it can spell dangerous things for the Max. And now it's inside, pass couldn't be handled by Cisse, but he gets it back. Cisse inside, 7-point lead.
Yeah, and I think a couple of things that Coach Miller, especially on that possession, is going to hone in on with this team is motion on offense. Like we talked about earlier in the first half, get the Max out of position, get them moving, get them scrambling. If you can do that, you'll create a lot of good shots.
As that was Cronin with the shot.
Yeah, and partner Cronin's been great today. Been awesome to watch. But one thing you don't really need to do with him is post him up down low against a bigger defender. Stay on the perimeter, stay with your guards who can, operate the offense, and you'll get better shots that way.
That's Cummings for three. Uh-oh. That's a big one for him.
And I think we've mentioned this about 15 times so far this game. Cummings, amazing shooter. And like you said, play him in fire. You said it best. And he gets an open shot and drills it.
Let's see if he can turn that one into some more. As Zakheim, head of steam, goes inside. Over Cisse, but no good. Cisse pulls the board.
Yeah, and you just see how Cisse affects his shots even if he's not blocking it. There's another pass inside for a layup.
Cummings no good, but great second effort by Cummings. Securing the board and putting it back as all of a sudden we started out 9-point lead for Yeshiva. Not even a minute and a half in. It's down to 2.
Yeah, they're going to have to settle in here and get back to what works for them.
Dotan. Now Sinjevski. Zevi with it. Max at the wing. Working on Cisse. Sinjevski, Salmon in the corner, pulls up 3. Bullseye. Big possession by the Max. Zevi Salmon drills the 3, leads back up to 5.
Words cannot express how big of a shot that is for this game and for the next few games for Zevi Salmon.
That was another almost a great steal by Zevi Salmon, but he's also been showing great effort on the defensive end, which is something it's nice to see from him.
Yeah, Coach Tometz made it a point to address that with us. There's Altenor, can't get it to go. We talked about Zevi's effort defensively, and if he can get a shot going offensively, there's another great take there by Salmon. But if he can get going offensively, this is a completely different team, and that's how they ultimately want to operate with him as their top guy. So that's a huge shot, and another good take there by Salmon.
As that was maybe a missed travel. Now we got Cisse inside, gives it to Feldrop. Feldrop drops it in.
Yeah, and Feldrop, otherwise known as Freddie by his teammates. Haven't mentioned him a lot tonight, but he is a really good player, a leader of this Blue Jays team. So it's a good shot there by him and good take.
And now it's Cronin. Sinjevski in the corner, pulls up. Big 3, or Sinjevski. Max lead back in the double digits. Make that 8 points. 8-point lead for the Max.
Yeah, maybe you should take the same math classes I take. I don't know.
Hey, you had me fooled about the math major thing. And now it's inside. Cummings for 3. No good from Cummings. So after the first one he hit, Altidore missed one. He missed another one. Now it's Sam the other way. Working on Cummings. Baseline J. No good. Cisse with the board. Tertullian now. Salmon on him. Good pickup, block by Cronin. Another block by Cronin. And they're going to call that foul on the side on Max Zakheim. And that's going to be Max's second foul.
Yeah, and Coach Steinmetz wanted to travel on that play. But, when you got a group of guys in the paint, all battling for the ball, it's hard to really see what happens. The refs are doing an incredible job tonight, as they always do. We got a lot of respect for them here at Max Live.
That's a nice pass inside to Cisse. And Avery's favorite referee is going to call another foul on Max Zakheim. That's going to be his 3rd.
Yeah, that's not a great couple possessions for Zakheim right there. And Coach Steinmetz, is not going to be happy with the ref, but equally will not be as happy with Zakheim. Big man gets in the paint. The one thing you cannot do is just slap down on them. It's going to get called every time. Now he's in foul trouble. He's got 3 fouls, and he's got to be careful the rest of the game.
And that's a 3. Altenor with the 3. So double foul on Zakheim, who sends him to the bench. Altenor responds with the 3.
Yeah, another thing Zakheim provides is a lot of experience defensively. He knows where to be in the right position, and he's got a lot of experience in the system. And maybe that shot is not going to be as open if he's out there. So, again, a big loss for the Max.
Cross court to Sinjevski, but he stepped out. Now it's going to be St. Joseph basketball.
So a bit of a back and forth start here in the second half for these two teams. Some ups, some downs, some turnovers, some threes. Just what you'd expect out of this matchup that we've come to love over the past few years.
Yeah.
That being St. Joe's versus Yeshiva.
Yeah, great relationship between these two teams. This inside, Cisse couldn't handle it, but had the wide open layup, puts it up anyway. No good rebound, Yoav Oselka. Yeah, lots of mutual respect between the two teams. Nice find, Effie Freundlich inside, no good. Cisse with it. Tertullian taking it the other way. Head of steam inside. Gets it over Yoav Oselka. So great play by St. Joseph, cutting into a one-possession game. 42-39 Yeshiva.
Yeah, it's a tough finish there by Tertullian. Yoav Oselka, 6'7", an absolute beast in the middle. Not someone that you can just, lay it in over, so that's a really impressive take.
Roy Ikovich. And now it's Yoav. Cross court to Sanjevsky. Orr for three. No good from Orr. Tertullian looks to push the other way. Gives it to Altenor. Altenor in the corner three. That's good from Altenor. So that's 2 in a row from Altenor this half. Now ties the game for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, we talked about at halftime. They're going to regress back to the mean positively this time. And, they're a really good shooting team. So like you talked about, playing with fire, letting the zone, you let a lot of open threes, happen. And we're seeing that with Lance Altenor and Kevin Cummings so far in the second half.
As that's a little bit of a lack of discipline from the Max. As we had another errant pass, and Coach Steinmetz is going to call timeout, try to rally the guys. We'd like to thank JBS, the Jewish Broadcasting Service, for broadcasting tonight's game nationally. JBS is dedicated to strengthening Jewish identity and education through their 24/7 programming. JBS is an incredible platform for sharing these games, and we're so grateful for the support of the Hode family in making this season's television broadcast possible. Stay tuned as we bring the Max energy to your screens coast to coast. So Avery, we started the half with the Max up 34-25. It's now 42-42. What have we seen so far, and how did the Max jump back out to the lead?
Yeah, the zone did its trick in the first half. It maybe caught St. Joe's a little off guard. I would switch back to a man right now. You're starting to leak some open shots, some easy takes in the middle. So I would switch back to a man-to-man defense from Coach Steinmetz. Apply some pressure on the ball, limit those open threes. And, maybe you could live with, a few layups, a few, fast break shots. But ultimately, you can't let the St. Joe's team get hot, and that's exactly what's happening right now for, the Blue Jays.
And after a quick squeegee break, we're back. Samet. And Max motion offense in work. And it's Ikovich taking it inside. And that's poked out. Poked out by Lance Altenor. Yeshiva ball. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Ikovich to inbound. Roy Itzkovich. Samet. Sanjevsky pulls up. No good. Rebound Altenor. And he really got up there on that board.
Yeah, absolutely. Impressive play of athleticism tonight. Display athleticism tonight, pardon me.
And that's a three from Cummings. Another wide open chance for the Blue Jays. Max looked a little bit disoriented defensively. And now it's Freundlich. Ikovich. Roy Itzkovich for three. No good. Rebound, fell drop. So Max in a little bit of a dry spell here. Tertullian looking to take advantage as he pushes. Fell drop now. Working inside. Kicks it out to Cummings. Cummings for three. Short again from Cummings. He's just had a tough night shooting. Now 2 of 12. And it's Samet. Inside to Oselka. Oselka gets the and one. Yoav in his limited time this season has really been the king of the and one, and that gives the Max the lead.
Yeah, I think he's learned that from you before you do on the court. But Oselka, one of the things that tends to happen for role players, if you do the little things well, and you affect the game, with your rebounding, with your defense, affecting passing lanes, blocking shots, the offense will come to you. You'll get your buckets, you'll get your chances, and Yoav Oselka has certainly seen that. The more he impacts the game, the more he's on the court, and the more plays he's able to make like that.
As Oselka converts the and one, kick out to Cummings, thought about the three, no. Now it's Altenor. Altenor goes, and Effie Freundlich looked to be a little shaken up on that play. Let's hope he's okay as he kind of limps down the court. It looks to be just walking it off. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, and Altenor was 17 today. Killed Yeshiva last year with his game winner. Doing it again today with an impressive display of shooting. Remember, he started off a little cold, but once he got settled in, he's been feeling himself and has been really impressive today.
And pass from front left tip. Samson gets it. Now Sejevski, that pass is tipped. Yoav with it. Yoav. Now Samson. Samson for three, hand in his face. No good. Rebound Cummings. And now it's Tyshawn Jackson taking it the other way. Jackson looks really energetic. Now Altenor for three. Altenor hits the three, so he's been on fire after a really cold first half.
Yeah, and I think it's time Coach Dovid makes an adjustment here. Tries to find out a way to stop Altenor, maybe put a man on him, because letting Altenor get open shots is just not going to work.
Freundlich for three, that's short. Oselko with the rebound. Freundlich gets it back, takes it inside, kicks it out to Simjevski. Thought about the three, no. Drops, fell drop, and drops the three. Big three or Simjevski. Max now up 48-47. Now it's fell drop, and that pass tipped by Yoav. Taking it the other way is Zevi Samson. Samson working on fell drop. Directing traffic, now Simjevski, Freundlich in the corner. He's got the smaller Jackson on him. Cross court to Levy. Johnny Levy. Nice physicality, Jonathan Levy, as he converts.
Yeah, that's an awesome take right there, and you mentioned physicality, and that's a great word to use because it's exactly what Coach Steinmetz said before the game. Talking about Jonathan Levy as someone who brings a physical element to the team, offensively, defensively, it shows it right there. Impressive take.
And that's going to be a full timeout by Coach Miller of St. Joseph Blue Jays. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The best source of news today is JBS. And viewers should understand that this has become the public square of the American Jewish community. This is where they can get 24/7 information, understanding, analysis, sympathetically, honestly, accurately. JBS should become the address of choice.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
And welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center. We got 11:15 to go here in the second half. Yeshiva up 50-47. Now Avery. St. Joe's started out really strong this half. They tied it up at 42 apiece. Ever since then, Yeshiva's maybe been a little bit ahead, but it's been really back and forth. What have we seen so far?
Yeah, and we made a joke of it at the time and sort of laughed it off. Max Zackheim's 2 fouls on the one possession off the ball. It's really been costing Yeshiva. As you'll notice, Lance Altenor started to really go off and hit his shots as soon as Max came off the court. He's going to look to check back in soon and try to neutralize Altenor.
And right on cue, Max Zackheim looks to check in. As now it's fell drop. Gives it over to Tyshawn Jackson. Jackson pulls up. Gets the shot to go. Tyshawn Jackson cuts the lead to 1. And it's a smart move by Coach Steinmetz, waiting until the defensive possession, not wanting to put Max in on defense, risk him picking up the 4th foul, having to send him right back to the bench. And now it's Freundlich. Luke Cronin. Cisse up on him. Roy Itzkovich. Samson. Johnny Levy now. Samson takes the screen from Cronin. Cronin with the ball now. Tries to get it inside to Levy. Cisse all over that. Cisse now taking it the other way. Looks to go inside. Fell drop. Nobody had him as he gets the wide open layup, giving St. Joe's their first lead of the game.
Yeah, and Yosef, one of the things you see about this Yeshiva offense, it's very beautiful to watch their motion, but there's no end goal. There's no purpose in the offense in terms of, we're trying to get the ball from point A to point B. it's really just free flowing, and that works. But sometimes defenses catch on to it, and they can, sense what's going on. It's a good take by Oselka, like Cronin, pardon me. But sometimes in this offense, it's hard to really get guys going, get guys open. You sort of just have to let the offense play out, and that leads to dry spells, which they're experiencing right now.
And Jackson, another athletic play as Tyshawn Jackson, a little bit of the Energizer Bunny for these Blue Jays, puts St. Joe's back up, and he's going to go to the line to convert the and one.
Yeah, and ever since the second half started, we've been in a back-and-forth game. It's been really exciting to watch, and here down the stretch, it's going to be fun to see who comes out to win.
In the first half, we asked our Max Live trivia question. The last time the Max hosted St. Joseph, they defeated the Blue Jays by a score of 87-76. Who was the leading scorer for the Max? And the correct answer to that is Eitan Halpert. That was a legendary game for Eitan Halpert. He had 7 threes that game, finished with a total of 23 points. Ryan Terrell right behind him with 22. As Jackson could not convert the and one, so it remains a 1-point lead for the Blue Jays. Samet corner three, no good.
Yeah, that's a shot Yeshiva is going to want to, get down a stretch. Not something they'll be disappointed with, having Zevi Samet take an open three.
Nice pass inside, fell drop. And Cisse slams it home. 55-52.
But again, when you get the ball to the high post, it opens up not just shooters, it opens up down low at the low block because it forces the men down low like Cronin to step up. That's exactly what happens right there. You got an open dunk for Cisse, and that's how you beat a zone. And ultimately, if Yeshiva's going to stay in that zone, they're going to get punished by a very smart, well-coached team. And I think personally they're going to have to come out of that if they want to get some stops down the stretch, because they have not been getting stops here at the beginning of the second half.
As we see Yoav Oselka checking into the game. And now it's Max. Strong take gets called for the offensive foul. He can't believe it, as that's going to be his fourth, sending him to the bench. That's a huge blow for the Max.
Yeah, he's not going to like that, but he did extend the elbow right there, as you'll see on the replay. It was the right idea, but he really has to be careful. He was sitting on 3 fouls. Now it's 4, and now he's probably not going to come in until the final few minutes of the game. They're going to miss his defense.
And we talk about Zakheim, just the intensity defensively that he brings. Altenor for 3. That's no good. But look for Altenor to get a couple more chances. Now with Zakheim, basically glued to the bench for the last 3-4 minutes of the game. Now it's Oselka. Oselka inside, strong take. No good, but he gets fouled. As Yoav will go to the line, try to cut it to a one-score game, 1-point game. Yeah,
and Oselka's N1s that we talked about, it's not an accident. He's such a powerful player, a smart player too. So when he gets the ball, he knows if he just takes a power dribble inside, as you saw right there, nobody's able to stand in front of him. They're going to have to either let him take a layup or foul him. And, he's realized that, and he's taking full advantage of that. So just an impressive, smart player, and really key today for the Max.
As Oselka goes 1 of 2. And we see with Oselka versus Cronin, maybe Oselka more of a traditional big. He's really showing out tonight. Maybe could come a little bit of a better matchup to try to shut down Adelphi Cisse, who's been feasting on the boards tonight. And now it's Altenor. Cisse working inside. Pass tip by Yoav Oselka. How many times have I said that tonight? Yoav taking it the other way. Can't get the layup. That's blocked by Cisse. And Cisse pulls the board. Roy Ikovich tried the second chance. Cisse said, not today.
And that's the 3rd time this game that's happened. Fast break layup, blocked off the backboard. The Yeshiva player comes from behind, gets the rebound. Just 2 awesome teams to watch.
And great defense by the Max, setting the trap. And now Roy finally able to convert on the fast break layup. Now ties the game at 55.
It's a great pass there by Samet. Solid Roy, leak ahead the pack. Those are dangerous passes. Sometimes they get stolen because there's not enough speed and velocity on the ball. But Samet made sure of that on that play, and ultimately led to a key 2 points.
As now it's Altenor. Got Yoav flying. Fell drop now. Back to Altenor. Tyshawn Jackson finds wide open fell drop inside. And they've really been taking advantage down low.
Fell drop, maybe not so flashy today with the scoring, but 8 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, block. He's on triple-double watch right now. You can see why he is sort of the leader of the St. Joe's team and a really key player for them.
Deep three from Sanjevsky, no good. Coach Steinmetz not going to be happy with that shot. So we got 6.5 to go. Yeshiva down 2, 57-55. Tyshawn Jackson. Now it's Lance Altenor. Back to Jackson. Tyshawn Jackson. High post Cisse. Cisse puts it up, gets it to fall.
And again, with the high post, right? Ball gets to the high post. Guys down low don't step up like on that play. Cisse has a wide open jumper. If they do step up, you have the player down low. If the guys up top step in, you have shooters open. So they're going to continue to get the ball to the high post, and Yeshiva is just not going to be able to stop it.
And now it's a nice drive by Samit. Cannot get the layup to go. He'll go to the line for 2. Good find by Yoav.
Yeah, it was a great pass by Yoav. Not really known for his passing. That's more of a Luke Cronin thing to do, but you see on the replay a smart play by him. Found the cutter, and Samit did a great job of drawing some contact. And he's going to go to the line and get 2.
And that's a little bit what we were mentioning before, how a lot of these guys, right, Zevi's known for his scoring, or is known for the defense and the shooting. And, Luke and Yoav inside. But all these guys have a vision, they're really good passers. They have the great vision. And that's something that really adds to the offense, that you can get a pass from anywhere at any time, and these guys are able to find the open men. Yeah,
and I think when you play in an environment like Yeshiva, that's what you ultimately get. You have an offense that fosters passing and movement and smart team basketball. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and these players have really developed nicely in the system.
Altenor, Freundlich working on him. And now it's back to Altenor. Salmon in defense. Cummings now. All the way out. That gives it to Altenor in the corner for 3. Altenor with the wide open 3. Max a little bit late. That's in 2. Max a little bit late to come over. And now it's a 4-point lead for St. Joseph. Altenor with a nice, knocked it out from Roy Ikovic. Hit off Roy's knee out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a key couple possessions right there by Altenor. Seeing why he is a veteran player. Made a nice shot on the outside on the wing. It's a big shot, extended to 2 possessions, but then also on the defensive end, putting in the effort, getting the strip, and ultimately getting the ball back for his team. And it's a 4-point game now. St. Joe's up 4. They're feeling themselves offensively. Yeshiva has sort of been discombobulated offensively. So this is a really key timeout for Coach Steinmetz to see what he can, put together here, give his team a plan, give them some structure for these last few minutes, try to bridge, close the gap and get back in the game.
Yeah, and Coach Steinmetz not necessarily known for, taking timeouts, but I really like the way he's managed his timeout usage. Really, understanding when the guys maybe need a break or need to just rework things. Wonder if we're going to get maybe some defensive adjustments after they got burned inside and then left the guy wide open in the corner. And then offensively also, just a couple tip passes, things like that. Just a little bit to clean up. And it's definitely a very winnable game for the Max. They're down 4 with 5 to go. Plenty of time. And let's see, Max Zakai probably not coming back into the game until let's say 3-4 minutes at most. So let's see if the Max can hold on without their leader in Max Zakheim. As Feldrop inbounded. Interesting about Feldrop, he's actually from Germany. Similar to Cisse, went to prep school in America, and the Blue Jays recruited him from there. Feldrop, one of the leaders of the team. We're talking to Coach Miller. That 3 is no good again from Cummings. Cummings now 2 of 13 from beyond the line. And Yoav Oselka working on Cisse. Inside, back out to Roy Ikovic. Itzkovic for 3. Nylon, Roy Itzkovich, and he's hyped to go as he cuts the lead to 1 point. Just about 4.5 to go.
Yeah, the Roy's come up huge there. It's third 3 of the game. An absolutely massive shot to bring it to 1 possession.
And now it's Jackson. Back to Altenor. Tyshawn Jackson. Cisse inside, wide open. He's not missing there.
I have to say, Joseph, I'm a bit surprised that Yeshiva hasn't switched out of the zone. We've been talking about it the entire second half, how ineffective it's been. Just an interesting move by Coach Thomas. We'll see how it works out in the end.
Yeah, the Max held the Blue Jays to 25 points in the first half, but already 38 points for the Blue Jays in this one. In this second frame, still 3.5 to go. And now it's Samit, deep 3 Samit. And that's going to be a shot clock violation as it did not hit the rim. So once again, another failed opportunity for the Max on offense.
Yeah, and one thing you're missing on Max Ackheim, who just checks in, but one thing you miss when he's not on the court is a distributor, a guy who can run the offense. So you have Zevi Samit, who's a really good scorer, but not really a distributor, and a bunch of role players, wings, bigs. So the offense doesn't flow as smoothly as it usually does. We'll see if that changes down the stretch with Ackheim on the court.
And foul drop. Great play, Roy Ikovich breaking up the pass. That's corralled by Levy. Zackheim taking it down. Now foul drop on him. Let's see what the offense does with Zackheim back on the court. Roy Ikovich working on the smaller Jackson. Samit pulls up 3. No good again from Samit. Good effort by Levy on the rebound. But he's going to get called for the foul on Tyshawn Jackson. That's going to be... that's going to be Levy's 3rd.
Yeah, and a very impressive play by Tyshawn Jackson, leaping up over the 6'5" Jonathan Levy. Jackson only standing at 5'10". Again, it shows the hustle and the athleticism of the St. Joe's team.
And he's really been everywhere for them tonight. You know, seemingly never-ending energy. And another blown coverage by the Max. Wide open Cummings inside. Now it's a 5-point lead for the Blue Jays, just under 3 to go.
Yeah, it's a great find right there. A good backdoor cut by Cummings. And now the lead's at 5 points, and Max have to respond here with 3 minutes left.
Samit. And now it's Zackheim. Gives it back to Zevi, back to Max. Zackheim working inside on fell drop. Brings it back out. Thought about the 3, no. Give and go. And that's rejected by Adolph Cisse, who cannot believe he's getting called for the foul.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. The replay will tell us what happened. Great cut by Zackheim. We're watching it with you viewers at home. And no, that was really clean block by Cisse. Has every right to be disappointed with the call, but again, have to respect the refs. They did an incredible job, and have to mention that. But also credit Cisse on that play. You know, it won't show up in the stats as a block, but certainly was on that play.
Yeah, and Cisse's been a real presence inside tonight. He's got 11 boards and 2 blocks. So really just showing the interior dominance.
Right, and even when he's not blocking shots, it's still you still can't really finish on him because he's just so lanky and athletic. And he's really caused some problems for the Max tonight in the paint. Just haven't been as efficient.
Cisse now. And Jonathan Levy picks up that pass. Let's see if the Max can take advantage of a Blue Jay mistake. As Zackheim, baseline, kicks it out to Dotan. Dotan thought about the 3, Cisse went flying. Now Zackheim for 3, that's short. Rebound Cummings. 1:56 to go, 4-point lead for the Blue Jays. Tyshawn Jackson taking it down, and that's gonna be a timeout by the Blue Jays coach Miller. JBS doesn't just broadcast games, they're all about Jewish education and connection. As a nonprofit, JBS produces and shares content on Jewish history, culture, and current affairs, partnering with organizations worldwide. With support from the Hode family, it's an honor to share Yeshiva basketball with such a respected platform in Jewish media. So Avery, $1:52 to go, Max down 4. What have we seen from them in the past couple minutes, and what are they going to have to do to close out?
Yeah, partner, we've seen good overall defense, but not great. And when you don't have great, solid, fundamental defense, It leaves cracks, it leaves open layups as we're seeing. It leaves the ball getting to the high post, and ultimately that's been the I guess you can say the reason why the Macs haven't been, aren't winning this game. And us personally, we think that the Macs maybe go to a man and not be in the zone because it just hasn't been working in the second half. We'll see if Coach Dimatz changes that and maybe apply some pressure in a man. Then offensively, they got to find out a way to get Zevi Salmon an open shot. Maybe get Max on the move to get a layup. They're going to have to get a couple stops and scores here down the stretch if they want to win this game.
As now it's going to be Lance Altenor to inbound for the Blue Jays. 25 on the shot clock. And now it's Jackson. Back to Altenor. Jackson. Zevi Salmon on him. Zakheim all the way out. Altenor. And the Blue Jays smartly kind of sitting on the ball. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Altenor. Jackson. Jackson pulls up for 3. I didn't know the bank was open this late as Jackson gets the shot to go. Extends the lead to 7. Max are going to have to make a move here.
That's a huge shot for Jackson right there. Not really known for his shooting, but it doesn't matter on that play. Huge shot.
Now 15 on the shot clock for the Max. Levy, Salmon in the corner. Salmon for 3. Zevi Salmon with the answer. Lead back down to 4.
It's a big shot for Salmon, but with the middle left, you don't want to get into the fouling game. You got to stop here. You get the ball back and try to make this a one-possession game. We'll see what they do defensively.
And now it's Altenor inside. The Max cannot afford any Blue Jay points on this possession. They're going to have to get a stop. High post fell drop. Now Altenor. Fell drop. Jackson. 5 on the shot clock. Tip by Levy. Good defensive play possession by the Max. As Zakheim lost it, but out of bounds off of Altenor. 31.1 to go. Still a 2-possession lead for the Blue Jays. So the Max likely going to have to score, foul, and play the free throw game.
Right, it's a huge play by Jonathan Levy right there to get the strip and the steal. See what Yeshiva does offensively.
And now it's Samet. Dotan Bardachev. Zevi Salmon. Moving inside. Trying to free himself up. Altenor in his face, and Zevi gets pickpocketed. Altenor taking it the other way, gets tripped up by Zevi. And that's going to be a foul.
Lance Altenor doing it on both ends of the floor. He's been absolutely dominant offensively. He comes up with the biggest stop of the game. Maybe not a foul on that play. Looks like he just tripped on his own feet. But it doesn't really matter because there's 10 seconds left. And Lance Altenor, an impressive player. Game winner last year. And huge two-way performance this year, both offensively and defensively. Just an absolute stud.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
And welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center as the Max currently playing the free throw game with the Blue Jays. Blue Jays going to inbound baseline, 13.2 to go. Max down 4.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a steal on this inbound. If you play the fouling game with only 10 seconds left, likely won't work out. We'll see what they do on the inbound, how they deny the offense.
And Jackson is it inside to Altenor. And that's still going to go. Blue Jays basketball. Baseline out of bounds by Zevi Salmon. And they're going to make sure that the floor is dry. Don't want anyone getting hurt, especially with only 13 seconds in the game. subscribe to Max Live on YouTube to make sure you do not miss any amazing Max games and highlights this season. Also, make sure to join our WhatsApp group chat. The link to join is in the description of this video. It's where we send all of our articles, graphics, Max information you definitely don't want to miss. And now Jackson's going to inbound. Altenor gets free, can't find him. Timeout by Jackson. Smart timeout by Jackson if he can get in. Definitely don't want to commit the 5 second there.
Right, with the timeout, the pocket, a smart team knows that, and they're going to use that to their advantage. No reason to force the issue, especially when you're up 4. And now it's back to the drawing board for Coach Miller. And also Coach Timeouts. We'll see if he comes out a different type of defense, try to force a steal.
As it's imperative at this point for the Max to get some kind of turnover, because even a free throw, that's going to make it real tough for the Max to get back into it.
Right, then also having the awareness offensively, if you get the ball, to push it down the court and get a quick shot up. You know, if you work the ball around and end up shooting with like 5 seconds left, it's not going to leave you enough time to, foul and go the other way. So we'll see how these coaches coach their teams in the huddle and how it plays out.
Jackson, the inbounder, gets it into Altenor. And he's going to get fouled immediately by the Max, sending him to the line with 11:06 to go.
Yeah, and Altenor has been super impressive today, and, pretty safe to assume he's going to make both with how he's played on both ends of the floor. Terrific shooter, and really has left his mark on this Yeshiva St. Joe's matchup over the past couple of years.
Yeah, interestingly enough, for St. Joseph, this is actually only going to be their second. It was an and 1. That was their second free throw attempt. They're now 0 for 2. Max got to hurry. Samet taking it inside. Blocked by Cisse, but that's going to be a goaltend. As there's 5.4 to go. Now it's only a 2-point game.
What an impressive block by Cisse. Absolutely flew on that one. But just not in time on that one. Ball hit the backboard. The refs called it. It's a 2-point game. And with 5 seconds left, gives the Max a chance.
And Coach Steinmetz asking the refs maybe to put some time back on the clock. That goaltend maybe took a second or two. Obviously every second really precious for the Max. A 2-point game. We force a turnover here, call a quick timeout. I mean, you get one shot to potentially win you the game.
Right, and what that layup also does, that quick layup, which Zevi smartly did, is now you also have time to foul. And if you foul them, they go to the line. Maybe there's 4.5 seconds left. They miss. You still have a chance to get down the court and get a shot up. So smart playing by Samet. And it's going to come down to free throw shooting. And St. Joe's shooting 66% from the free throw line on the year. They're going to have to make 2 if they want to leave this game with a win.
Yeah, interestingly enough, like we were saying before, St. Joseph 0 for 2 from the line tonight. They really haven't been to the charity stripe at all. Most of their shots have been either outside or pretty much wide open inside. But it's going to be key here for the Max to force a turnover. 14 turnovers tonight for the Blue Jays. Let's see if they can make it 15 and really give themselves a shot to close it out. It's going to be Feldrop inbounding, Roy Ikovic defending him. And that's going to be off of Altenor's foot! And Zevi Samet with a great defensive play, going to give the Max a chance with 4.4 to go. What a turn of events here at the Max Stern Athletic Center, as the Max may get one more shot to come out victorious.
Zevi Samet, for all the glitz and glamour he gets as an offensive player, shows up huge on the defensive end, as you'll see in the replay. Just a pure hustle, getting in there, slapping it off the knee of the St. Joe's player, and Yeshiva now with 4.5 seconds, down 2 and a chance to win this game. Couldn't have scripted it any better.
It was a little bit of a similar situation last year when these two teams faced off. It was the first game of the season. The Max pretty much had the last possession, needed to get something going. They made a mental error, committed an offensive foul, which basically sealed the game for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays ended up winning 83-79. This game a little bit, lower scoring, but it's going to be key here for the Max to really, get the ball in, get themselves a great shot. And then Avery, as the basketball wizard, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you go for the 2 here, tie the game, maybe send it to overtime, or you're looking to end it with a 3?
I think your inbound play has to have options. You could set up a screen for Zevi to come off and maybe get a three, but if that's not open, you should have a cutter dive to the basket, try to get a layup. And if nothing's open, make sure you call timeout. You got 2 left.
As the Max faithful on their feet here, 4.4 to go. Jonathan Levy with the inbound. Gives it to Salmon. Salmon in the corner for 3. And he's going to get called out of bounds. Just a tough play for the Max, as they're going to say Samet stepped out, giving the Blue Jays the ball. Max obviously going right back to where they were, the full court defense. And they're going to have to force another turnover. Now only 2.5 seconds remaining in the game, as Coach Miller is going to put Tertullian on instead of Cisse, maybe giving himself a little bit more mobility on the inbounds.
Yeah, it's the right idea to get Sam at a 3. Just unfortunate, lack of awareness on that play. Let's see if they can come up with a big stop here.
As foul drop here, Max not putting anyone in front of him. And that's going to be 3.6, so they put a little bit of time on the clock. It's going to be 3.6, Tyshawn Jackson to the line. And that's going to be a foul on by Zevi Samet. And this is a 1-and-1, so he can miss the first. Max called quick timeout. 3.6 to go.
Right, and again, on that inbounds play, it was the right call. You get the best player on the team, an open 3. Just unfortunate he couldn't put his feet in the right spot. But you have another chance here. You got a couple timeouts. You have a free throw shooter on the line. This team hasn't made their free throws today. If he misses, Yeshiva calls timeout. Things can get really interesting again.
Max Faithful getting loud, trying to force the miss from Jackson. That's no good. Oh, and Feldrop pulls the board. And they're going to get a quick foul, but that's going to be Max Sackheim's 5th foul. So he's going to have to go to the bench. It's a big blow for the Max. Just about under a second to go. And they're going to call Max for his 5th. He's going to have to go to the bench. Someone else going to have to step in for him. But now down 2 with 0.7 of a second to go. This is still an and 1, but much less likely. And now we have Kinsler checking into the game for YU. We thought maybe we'd see a little bit more of him, but the game script hasn't exactly been in his favor.
Right, and it's one of the things that Feldrop does right there. Boxing out, getting the rebound. Huge play by him.
And that's a big free throw by Cummings. Now it's a 9-point game. If he can hit the second one, it's basically nail in the coffin. Sorry, it's a 3-point game, 69-66. And the second one is good. And that's pretty much going to end it. Dotan to inbound. Tries to go the full court heat for Jonathan Levy, who puts it up. Can't get that to go. And for the second year in a row, the Max will fall to the Blue Jays by a score of 4 points. The final score here is 70-66. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the postgame show.
Hey Max fans, this is Joseph Gittler, YU class of 1996, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. The skies are reopening, so come and volunteer with us in Israel as soon as you make it here. Please also consider supporting us as you think about your charity. And of course, go Max!
Of being president of Yeshiva University is that I get to attend many basketball games. We have a very popular basketball team. Do people know that? Very popular basketball team. Like, I thought I was coming to Yeshiva University. It'd be great academics, they're professionals, they're business, they're rabbis, they're educators. But we have an amazing basketball team, the Yeshiva University Maccabees. They won 50 games in a row at one point. And we're ranked #1 in the country in Division III. #1 in the country.
And welcome back into the Max Stern Athletic Center, as the St. Joseph, Connecticut Blue Jays have defeated the Yeshiva University Maccabees by a score of 70-66. in what was really a back-and-forth game, both sides. We'd like to give a big thank you to JBS for bringing YU basketball to television viewers across the nation. As a Jewish multimedia channel, JBS is committed to promoting Jewish education, culture, and values. Special thanks to the Hode family for their generous support. We're thrilled to have shared the Max journey with you tonight, and we can't wait to see you back here for the next game. Now, before we go, Avery, you have any final thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, it was a good one between two really good, well-coached teams, but in the end, St. Joe's got punched them out early, but, was able to figure out the zone, get open shots, down low, three-pointers, and Yeshiva didn't adjust, and that was the game. Still a great game, a great, ending to the non-conference portion of the season for both these teams, and they'll be or coming up to the end of the non-conference portion of the season. But two great teams and a fun one tonight.
And definitely, as this team's still with two big non-conference games on their schedule, going against Wesleyan and against Tufts University. As the Max played a tough one against Tufts 2 years ago. A little bit memorable.
See what you did there. Tough.
As we'd like to thank everyone who made this production possible, our Executive Director, Eitan Traurig, Executive Producer, Zevi Pancer, Director, Jarrett Lazarus, Assistant Director, Moshe Rochester, Associate Producer, Dovid Samson, and Assistant Producers, Matthew Loren, Zachary Siklik, Aaron Whedon, and our camera operators, Moshe Laub, Dovid Samson, David Raviv, and guest camera operator tonight, the legendary Akiva Poppers.
Legendary.
So final score here, Blue Jays 70, Maccabees 66. For Avery Stepner, I'm Yosef Silver. Have a great night, everyone.